in those 8 years, and what may have been prompting the reaction of others, including Vladimir Putin, in making a decision to attack this country's elections.
Yeah, the list you just gave, frankly, was the foreign policy of the Obama administration. They actively set about either destabilizing or trying to influence governments and electoral processes around the world. Judicial Watch has lots of documentation on that, in particular, the activities of Mr. Soros. And sadly, today, we still have our United States, our State Department is really Soros-occupied territory. Yeah. He is probably more influential, and his thinking and his language and conduct is really the guiding light in our State Department today still. And so the consequences of that, whether it's 9, 10, 12 years down the road, is that, we're sowing or we're reaping what's been sowed by the Obama administration. We should not be surprised.
We should not be surprised, but we are, because it just continues. It goes on. Judicial Watch, instrumental in producing documents showing the flow of money from the U.S. State Department, USAID, to various countries in efforts to destabilize or at least give the Obama administration its preferred outcome in those elections, including with Israel, for crying out loud.
And in some instances, we were paying Soros to do it for us. And in the case of Hungary, under Obama, and then sadly still carried through with this administration, $700,000 was earmarked for quote-unquote alternative media, whatever that means, to attack Prime Minister Orban.
Right. I don't want to go too far beyond this because of this constrictions of time. But the fact is that Rosenstein and Wray and Coates met today with the president. We have a spy. We have John Brennan threatening not only the president of the United States, but then today threatening the Speaker of the House, threatening Majority Leader McConnell. One has to wonder, when it's a former CIA director, is he threatening them because he has something on them? Is it because he has some expectation that his warning can result in an action on their part that he desires? This is getting to the point where Brennan needs to be brought up on charges of some kind now, because he is acting against the state, he's acting against the government, and it's absolutely bald.
He's also acting unhinged, frankly, when he's quoting Cicero in an attempt to project on himself some sort of nobility in what really, look, this whole story's unraveling. The conspiracy, and I mean that literally, conspiracy, is coming apart at the seams. More is going to be revealed. Judicial Watch will continue to dig for it. And this is what you see from people who are scared. They're frightened of what's going to come out.
They're also dangerous. When you have the entire former top 3 officials of the Obama administration intelligence agencies threatening presidents, threatening congressional leaders, and at the same time, James Clapper today criticizing, as the president demanded an investigation of spying, criticizing what he called Trump's disturbing assault on justice, the Justice Department's independence. This has now reached a level of mindlessness, and the leadership of the Republican Party, and I'm talking about Ryan, and I'm talking about McConnell, have an opportunity, again, as I've said here a number of times, to stand with this president and stop this nonsense. And today we find out Giuliani, the president's lead attorney, is saying that Mueller told him that September 1st will be the date to close out the special counsel on the issue of obstruction of justice. That's foregone in the minds of most people I've talked to, legal professionals, because there is no obstruction of justice for the president of the United States. And what I do not understand is why we continue to get these half-baked stories about when it's going to end. It was just weeks it was going to end, according to Mr. Giuliani. Just a few weeks ago, that time has passed. Now it's September 1st. This is getting to be an extraordinary strain on Giuliani's credibility.
I'm going to roll back Brennan and Clapper's own words against them. Hey, if there's nothing to be worried about with an investigation, why are you so upset now that you're the target of the investigation, or what should be the target? And
I'm
secondly,
sorry, whose words are those, Chris?
I'm saying both Brennan and Clapper have used this line about, well, if there's nothing to worry about, Mr. President, why are you getting so defensive?
No, I'm talking about Giuliani, and I'm talking about this business about September 1st.
Yeah, well, kicking the can on this. Look, the president should never submit himself to an in-person interview. I disagree with Mr. Giuliani there, even though it's floated as a maybe. He should never do it. Written interrogatories only, at best.
Okay.
And then there has to be a line drawn, and that's it. Thank you very much. We're done playing.
I think that is the line the president has drawn. We hope.